automatic lane change right there. That's pretty cool. Put my watch up against the door. Oh, it's cutting it close. It's cutting it. Ooh, man, makes me nervous. Okay. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another car review. All right, so this video is going to be about the 2023 BMW X3 M40i. Now, before we go into everything else, I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna get from this video. We're gonna talk about the horsepower and torque, obviously. We're gonna do some acceleration tests. Maybe launch control, not sure yet. At the time of recording, the car has not hit braking miles yet, so hopefully by the time that I do the editing and everything else, I get some time to get the braking miles on it. We're going to talk about how well it fits a car seat, stroller, and then luggage room. So you're gonna get everything. You're gonna get everything from this video as far as, can this be a good family vehicle? How does it compare towards the X5? Because if you follow the channel, you know I have an X5M, and obviously I could compare a little bit of the interior space. Now let's go over some of the features. I'll tell you a little bit about the car and the price and how, you know, everything kind of came together. All right, so as you know, like I said, I mentioned in the video, this is a 2023 BMW X3 M40i. Now, when you're shopping for these, you have choices. You can buy an X3 30i. It was X drive, or you can buy an S drive. X drive, X as an X-ray, means that it's going to have the all-wheel drive system from BMW. Okay. Now, if you were to go for an S drive, S as in Sierra, the S drive is rear-wheel drive only. Okay. Now you can spec certain options. I recommend obviously checking the BMW configurator, but you can do different looks on the car as far as if you want it to look more mature, or if you want something more sporty, you can add the M Sport package, which looks very identical to this. You always can't tell this from a M40. Now, the benefits of an M40 is, say somebody says, you know what, I really want more power, because the 30i's are, I believe, are rated, don't quote me on this, I might look at it in the video, but I believe they're like 240 or 250 horsepower. It's a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. Okay. But someone who wants to step up to a little bit more power, but they don't want the full M, because an M on this car is very race track focused. I mean, you're going to have really tight, stiff suspension. You're going to have just the wheels, everything's going to be really towards that driver who really loves to drive. You're gonna feel the bumps, imperfections in the road. You're going to feel the body's not going to lean very much. So if comfort is your priority, the X3M is probably not your car. But BMW thought for something. They said, what if we could kind of bridge the gap a little bit? Instead of having the 30i or the 30i here and the M here, we can put something in the middle. And this is what we got here. We have an M40i. So to take a look around the car, you're going to see here, you come standard with your M Sport. Front and rear fascias, you're going to have M-specific mirrors, which, you know, some peers out there may or may not feel a little different towards it. I have my opinion. I might make a separate video on that if it's not already out. But the car looks really good, and compared to the X3M, it looks pretty darn close. But I'll let that, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of the looks so far. Right away, we did do some option packages. So from here on the M40, you're gonna get 382 horsepower. Okay, so almost 100 and let's just say almost 100 and horsepower more, but you're gonna have, it's gonna be a 6-cylinder. So you're gonna hear a little more sound. It's gonna be BMW's popular B58 engine, which has been used in several different cars. BMW uses in the M340. They use the engine also in the X3 40i, obviously a detuned version of that. But the same, I think the motor is pretty equivalent to what you find in the Toyota Supra and BMW Z4 M40. So tried and true engine, reliable, it's been proven. You know, if you're talking about BMW reliability, this engine here is the one to be, the one to have, okay? It's 0 to 60 is, I think, 4.1. 4.1. And when I looked at that, I was thinking that there's no way. Because I have an X5M. Now, granted, mine is the older generation, but my X5M was rated at 567 horsepower from the factory, and I was able to achieve best was like four seconds with that vehicle. And this being not a full M, but an M performance is getting that close acceleration, okay? All right, so when you do this, and also since it's a 2023, and I think 2022 is do the same thing, you're gonna notice you're gonna have a few things. You're gonna have your 50th anniversary badges. Now, these are an option for M performance models. They come standard on the M models, which means you get the M colors, the 50th anniversary heritage colors, all right? When you build the M40i, obviously standard is you get in the M Sport package, but you can choose if you want the shadow line, the extended shadow line, because it comes with the shadow line. Shadow line means all the silver trim on the car, all the aluminum trim is going to be blacked out, which is the roof rails, the trim around the windows, sometimes the mirrors, some other trim around the car is be blacked out. That's called shadow line. And then when you do extended, that means now the grille surround on this car is going to be blacked out. The housing for the headlight, you know, instead of having a silver housing, is going to be blacked out. Now, depending on when you look at this car or how you're ordering, supplies may be limited, but you know, you have to check and see. Obviously, contact your nearest BMW dealer to talk to them as far as parts availability. And then we also did the M 718 wheels, and these wheels look great. These are 21-inch wheels. These are probably one of my favorite wheels on the M40s. I've seen them even for another generation. I just like these wheels. It gives you a nice mix of black, but not a full blacked out wheel that could get hidden in, you know, a sea of black wheels. It has a nice little bit of touches of silver, like a machine faced. So these wheels look great. When you see the back of the car, the lines from the side is where I really look at it, and I'm thinking the X3, for being the smaller side of SUVs, has grown quite a bit. Parking it next to my X5, I can honestly see that the size is comparable, and I can see why people are on the fence of deciding if they should get a X5 or an X3. So let's go into the interior. Let's do a little quick walk around. I'll actually, hopefully I'm talking, I have that going. But we'll go around the back side and we'll go into the interior. As you come around the side, you'll see that you have your M Sport brakes, which is standard. Optional on a 30i, so you can get the M Sport brake. You can choose your color if you want the standard blue color, that's standard, or you can go to a red. Obviously, we chose red. Red look better with the white. I think certain colors go better with certain, you know, exterior colors. All right, coming around the back side of the vehicle, we're gonna see BMW's updated tail lights. I've heard different names for these. Halo swords. Actually, they look closer to the Halo swords to me, personally. Lobster claw. I don't know what they little pinchers, but when they first came out in 2022, I was like, these lights are ugly. I don't know who's designing these lights, but over time it grew on me, and I like them. I really do. I do like them. And BMW has a thing where they do is they like to have the tail lights on in conjunction with the front daytime running lights. So when you're driving, even in the daytime, these just have a nice little pop, even in daylight, just so it's not just sort of blacked out. Obviously, you can turn off daytime lights in the settings, you know, if you don't want those, but in conjunction with the front DRLs, you're gonna get the rear DRLs as well. Coming into the back here, you're gonna see these sort of a rectangle dual exhaust, and the M's, the true M's, are going to have quad. So your quad is gonna be 2 or 4 pipes coming out the back here. All right. Obviously, you see another 50th anniversary badge here on the side, and also you have some on the wheel, which I'll here show. So some in here. This one does take 91, actually 89 is the minimum octane rating. BMW recommends 91 and it recommends Shell, so that's what it's showing in the gas lid. All right, so let's take a look in the inside. All right, leaving the key fob in my pocket. This car does have automatic lock and unlock. As I approach and lock the car, you'll see hasn't changed much since a few years, but you get your M tricolors here. You know, nice setting here. Obviously, the car does have comfort access, meaning that you'll unlock the car getting here. The car does lock itself, so I can lock it by touching the ridge area here, or the back seat as well. It's got comfort access here in the back. I have the kick to open tailgate. The car unlocked as I got close to it, but let's try to kick to open. And that's all is needed to do. And we'll talk about cargo room here in a little bit, but let's talk about some features. You got the storage area. This is for storing your cargo cover. Got a couple other places where you can store things. I keep a few things from my wife's car. I keep her battery jump starter here. She keeps a first aid kit and stuff, and then obviously a respirator. Let's see. This side looks like, yeah, more storage in here. And one cool feature about this is if you need to move your cargo cover, you can just take this off. So there's a button right here. Press this button, remove the cargo cover. And then I can do is lift this up and just put that right in there. Safely out of the way. It's perfectly housed for that spot. So you have that. Thoughtful that BMW gives you that, because I hate when I have to move my cargo cover and it just sits there. Like, what am I gonna do with it? Like, I moved it, kind of need more space. Now got this thing that's cumbersome. Put it back in. I just slide it in here one side. That's it. Then you have your shade, obviously. Privacy. Recommend doing this, especially during holiday times where you got stuff in here you don't want people to see what you got. Another 12-volt outlet back here. Obviously, this is a 40, 60, 40, 20 split here. All right, let's see if we can get all these suitcases in here. Got one large, 2 medium check bags, and then 1 carry-on. Look at that. Now I'm surprised it took the large suitcase, the 2 medium check-in bags, and then 1 carry-on. And it looks like you can even do more if you needed it to, but I think with the size of this, I don't think you end up carrying more luggage than this. This is enough for 4 people in their luggage to be. Let me close this. Let me close this. Oof, almost. It closes. So that was enough luggage space to handle obviously those suitcases, or any combination of 2, or if even you want to do a couple suitcases and a stroller, or if all the suitcases and stack a stroller on top. I think they all could have I think you can mix match, and I think the X3 is a good size where it can handle all your family needs. However, if you need anything larger than this, then I would consider the X5 or the Big Daddy X7. And with the kick to open, I can also kick to close. So doing more kick in here, Gives you a nice sound that tells you when it's closing, so you stand back. Have plenty of time to get out of the way. Front seat. Again, nice feeling in here. Dashboard is low. I can see from the dashboard, I can see the full hood from sitting in my driving position. Everything's within reach. You have your shifter here. I'll show this in a little more detail here in a little bit. But BMW shifters here, you got a nice armrest. Steering wheel has a nice fat feeling. It feels thick in my hand. You got the M tricolors. Paddle shifters are within easy reach. Rearview mirrors are good. Blind spot is actually not too much blind spot in here. And then you got the panoramic roof. Now the roof for the panoramic doesn't start till further back. So as far as from the driver, you're not gonna get any glare coming in through the front, which I have experienced on the vehicle, especially with the sunroof open. I'm having that sun hit me right here. So the fact that it's set back, yeah, you're not gonna get much light from the driver's side, but it's not too bad. They're sitting here. You have your lumbar control. You can raise and lower the lumbar. You can have more lumbar, less lumbar support. You can raise and lower the seat back, tilt that up. Seat belt does not adjust. So if you're a short person, if you feel like the seat is gonna be here, that could be something that you might want to consider, maybe a sit-in one test drive. Got a grab handle inside here. Seat belt's within easy reach. All right, inside here, I'm 5'8". This is my driving position. So I'm going to jump in the back seat to sit behind my own driving position. I feel comfortable in here. Actually, it feels nice in here. Got a nice seat. I have plenty of space in front of me. The view, the headliner, especially with the panoramic sunroof, it just gives you like an open air feeling. You don't feel any claustrophobia in here. There is a lever I can recline a little bit more, which actually gives it it's more relaxing to do this. Okay, you do have a little cup holder. You can set maybe a bottle of water or something in here. Power window control. This one does have the optional carbon fiber trim and window shades. Okay. We've got 3-zone climate control. So in the back here, you got your own setting, got your heated outboard rear seats. You can change, obviously, your temperature, direction of airflow, and this controls both sides. 2 USB-C ports. Here we have, drop down 2 cup holders, and it's reclined right now because I got the seat reclined. There we go. So then we have that. All right, I'm still leaving my seat protector down. This base has a load leg in here. I'm gonna drop this in. I'll push this into the latch. You see them right here. Now what I'll do is I'll shove this in here. I'm gonna push this in here. 1, 2. That's it. Load leg is in, and then drop the car seat into the base. And notice one-handed, by the way. And that's it. Okay, let's get this thing started up. All right. Now, you see, I can't see it in real life, but I'm looking through my camera, and you see those sensors. That's for your driving assistance functions. Those are reading your eyes, sort of like if you have an iPhone or any type of device that uses biometrics, that's sort of reading your eyes when you unlock your phone. Sort of the same thing. You're not going to really see it, but it does open itself up. You see here coming around the door, you have carbon fiber. Now this is an option. You can choose different trim. Like I said, recommend on the configurator and seeing, but we option carbon fiber trim with the hours. You do get some faux leather on top of the dashboard. And then we have the window controls here. It's all power, automatic up and down. Got power folding mirrors. You have your trunk controls here, so if you need to open the hatches there. Also, the hatches kick to open. Your light control is going to be here. So this is automatic. It's fully automatic headlights. So when I say fully automatic means when the rain... Hold on a second, what's this guy doing? I'm filming, there's literally nobody on this road. Sorry, I am in the middle of the road, but this is a road that it's just nothing's going on right now. So automatic light controls, automatic means, fully automatic means some cars just only go by dusk and dark. By fully automatic means when you're in this mode, if your wipers are on, or like I said, this car is in auto mode, it will activate the headlights automatically once there's rain. So once their water is detected on the rain sensor and there's a few swipes, it will activate headlights in conjunction to kind of, be for more safety. You have your parking lights, and obviously you can turn the lights all the way off, and then obviously headlights all the way on. These are full LED headlights. They are adaptive. So I want to say they swivel. There's a cornering function. Lights are bright. And that's what we have here. Coming inside here, now there are different settings. So by hitting the BC control, we can change upon what we want to see in here. There's a G meter. There's your music, if you like. If you want to see the modes, if you want to see fuel information, you can change that. That's the total miles on the car. So right now we only have 742 miles. BMW recommends 1,200 before full break-in. Okay, and then horsepower and torque control. Okay, all right. Now these other settings in here changes upon the mode you're in. So right now, if we come in two different modes, you have Sport, Comfort, Eco Pro. So if I'm in the Sport mode, it should change up a little bit how it looks. And you can see how you get a full tachometer, and there's, press it again, you get Sport Plus, Sport Individual. So there's different modes in here: Sport, Sport Plus, Sport Individual. Sport Individual means you can custom tailor what you like, or I can just standard. So Individual, I want the suspension to be Sport. I want it to be, or I want it to be Comfort, but I want everything else to be individualized. Basically, it's custom tailored what you like. But here's what you can do. We can change. Okay. Comfort does what it says. Everything's gonna be comfort. It says it's balanced, so I'm assuming that depending on how you drive, it's going to adjust accordingly. Eco Pro, and you can customize that as well. Different speed notifications if you want eco heating. It's going to really save your efficiency by reducing the heating efficiency of like I said, your mirrors are automatically heated, your rear defroster glass is heated, but maybe it won't be heated as much as it would be in normal mode. Dynamics, everything's be comfort. You can change if you want the suspension or steering to be comfort, but as far as engine performance, you can't change that, which just makes more sense in eco mode. Now this car does have a mild hybrid, 48 volt, and what that means is if you've driven a car with start-stop technology, you probably have been at one point been annoyed and said, you know what, I don't like how the start-stop feels. I don't like how it cuts off and cuts on. It feels jerky, it feels rough. With the 48 volt mod hybrid, it's not like that anymore. Think of it like this: seamlessly take over a little bit, so those on-off transitions aren't as jerky. You're not waiting for an engine to sort of crank and restart again. It can just fire the engine right back up, and when you're slowing down to a near stop, the engine can just shut off. When you're cruising, or sorry, if you're dead stopped and you need to go again, if the engine is off, when it clicks back on again, you shouldn't even feel a jerk. It should just be very, very seamless. So coming across here, you got ventilated seats and heated seats. Ventilate was an option. So you come over here, you press heated, it turns into heat, which you'll press and hold and you just remove that. Now, say like you want to switch over to ventilated. If you say, you know what, it's summertime. If I press the heated button, it automatically comes on again. Oops, turn it off. Here we go. Let's turn this off. So what you do is press your button, but instead, come over here to your screen, turn it off, turn it on. So there you go. The ventilator's on. Now, press and hold. Each time you activate this button, it remembers your last setting. It automatically activates it. And you can even do in conjunction with heat as well. All right. Obviously, your defroster, you got automatic climate control. You can go to your menu, you can see everything. You can change how you want the seat heating to be distributed. So if you want more heat in the seat back as opposed to the lower portion of the seat, you can change that as well for driver and passenger. You can set rules, and this is per key. So for me, I'm gonna turn mine off, but below a certain temperature, you can have it automatically activate if you want it to. So for me, if I want the steering wheel heat to come on automatically, let's say for below a certain amount of degrees, I could just say always turn it on below the temperature, which is reading from here. Makes sense? Seat ventilation, I can always have it activate above a certain threshold. And those settings means that when you get in the car and start it, is automatically the car sorted there for you. If you use remote start, those conditions will then be activated for you when you activate remote start. This is your home screen. So BMW gives you what's called widgets. And if you're familiar with, obviously it's somewhere where you find a smartphone, you can change these tiles, you can customize what you like. You can go in here, this is also touch screen. And I can say, I don't want to have the weather here anymore. I can choose anything else. I want to have traffic information here. And at that point, it'll tell me, is it done? It'll tell me local traffic listen, free flowing. Make sense? There's settings in here. There's also apps you can choose. You can use Apple CarPlay apps, and this car does have wireless Apple CarPlay. You have that. Automatic window. I'm assuming that you can have the window drop down automatically. Maybe if you're going through, if you have a gated entrance to your house or apartment, maybe you can have the window automatically roll itself down without you doing it yourself at each location. Not for sure. I'm going to have to look that up. If it is, I'm not going to say anything. If I'm wrong, I will pause the screen and I will type what exactly that means. Uneven road surface. So if it uses GPS and it'll tell you basically if the road is uneven. So sort of, and it also show you here in the head-up display. Traffic camera information. Obviously, if there are traffic cameras out there, it kind of let you know. If I go to car, I can change my settings. I can change driver status, checking your oil, obviously, and then see what service is due next. Next service is due in November 2023 at 10,000 miles, whichever comes first. If you don't drive a lot, which my wife doesn't drive a lot in this car, most likely we're going to be at the date. The reason why they say either or is because after a year, the oil is really not recommended to be used anymore because they're saying that the oil has kind of accumulated moisture and things like that. So it's better to get that old oil out. I guess you could say oil has sort of an expiration date of a year from being in the car. You can change how you want the climate control to be in here. It looks like it's some cool little settings. So but it's in auto mode. Let's see what it says. And then obviously there's shortcuts in here, which you can set up. And you can have your presets. So you can see here, these are not anything. So if I want this button to be like, quickly take me over to navigation, zoomed level, XYZ, you can have that. So if I say I have it here, and I can just say, okay, here, and I could zoom out and you can see here, nice clear navigation. Honestly, I'm pretty impressed with navigation quality. And you can do it that way. What you can do here, let's say if I'm navigating somewhere, all right, never come up to the steering wheel. And obviously you can use your phone call. You can use this to call anything. But let's say I want to talk and I want to navigate. Navigate to jet black tint in Fairfield.
Which one of these destinations should I select?
1.
All right. Our next destination is jet black tint.
There you go. There, and then I know it does that for a lot of things. So for someone that you probably like, let's cancel this. Let's see if I wonder if it uses voice cancel. Cancel navigation.
I've ended the guidance.
There we go. So let's say, for example, you want to, let's say you anything you want to do, like for example, if you're an iPhone user, you're like, oh, I like my phone better because my phone I can just pull up my phone, and if you're a phone user, if you like to pull up your phone and go from there, the phone could be something that could be like, oh, it's frustrating to have to pull it out. But the BMW navigation is improved quite a bit to the point where I don't even use my phone anymore. It's pretty cool. Navigate to Ace Hardware in Sassoon City, California.
Which one of these destinations should I select?
Go back.
What is the destination?
Ace Hardware.
I've selected Ace Hardware. I have found these 50 entries. Which one should I select? Please select an entry from the list or say correction. Please select an entry from the list or say correction.
3.
I've selected Ace Hardware, 250 Sunset Avenue, Sassoon City, California. I've started guidance.
All right, so coming down here, got another M logo in here. You got 2 cup holders. This is just your regular shaker cup. Fits in here nicely. Doesn't interfere with anything. No buttons. It doesn't block anything other than, let's say, a wireless charger. So if I have a phone here, then it would sit there. But I also have a phone mount. This third party. I'll link this in the description. And then, of course, just regular cup. So 2 holder, you got a wireless charger in here. So set my phone here, it should activate. There it goes, it's charging. And then we got a 12-volt outlet, and you can, like I say, you can cover that up. Coming down here, you got your drive modes, got your hill descent control, and you got your automatic hold. With automatic hold, it means that when you're at a stop, it'll hold with the brake lights, everything activated without me resting my foot on the brake. It's got this piano black area here. Now, I'm not too sure about this. This is something I worry about being scratched up. So I have to worry about this piano black. I don't know. Coming through here, you got your, obviously, a few things in here. You got USB-C port in here. And that's it for the center console. Glove box is damped. Does have a sort of a flimsy feel to it, but it's still damped. Carbon fiber trim coming across the top. You do get your halo, so it means if you have the safety acceptance, you can activate those, you can individualize those, configure them, or if you want them all on or all off. So if turn it off, usually this should be red or a certain color, or it says press and hold 3 seconds to activate. So turn this off. All right, so everything's off. So nothing's eliminated at this point. You know what's cool is they show you your actual car and the wheels that you have. It's pretty cool. All right, so let's go to other features. Rain sensing wipers. You have your positional, so you just put the position automatic. If I click it down, the off, we're in off mode. Automatic high beam. And let's see here. When you go down to drive, you can click over this sport mode transmission. Gives you more of a quicker, snappier shifts. And also show your tachometer. Got your M tricolors on the wheel. Got your heated steering wheel button. Let's see, paddle shifters. Got your climate settings here. You got your 3 different strengths for your climate control. So if you want the climate control to be really aggressive with the fan, obviously you can put it here. If you don't want it to be, like for me, I like quiet, I don't like hearing the fan noise, then you put it down on the lower side. It'll still do the automatic climate settings, but just how aggressive you want the fan to be. Air quality. You can have automatic fresh air. So automatic fresh air, what it does is it sniffs out the bad, someone floors it in front of you, or diesel truck blows, rolls coal or something, blows out a bunch of smoke, it will switch over to recirculation automatically before it enters the cabin, and then once it clears up, it goes back to fresh air without you having to do it manually. Only thing I think it can't do is if you smell skunk, it can't detect the skunk, I don't think. Has a display. Head display shows obviously speed limits, music. So you have that right there. You see it's pretty big. You get your navigation, you get the turn by turn. Let's see. This is the black Vernasca leather. You can get the Sensitech, I believe. The Vernasca leather is the upgrade. Has a firm, kind of durable feel to it, even though it is leather. It feels durable. It feels like it'll hold up for a long time. Kind of here, you got your garage door controls, home link, auto dimming rearview mirror. This mirror dims in conjunction. Passenger mirror does not dim. You got your map lights, reading lights, dome lights, sunroof controls. Sunroof opens up. This is the largest it opens up. Wish up a little bit bigger. I think you have one more setting. This is the best setting right now to minimize any wind buffeting, but if I want to go more, press and hold. This is the max it opens up. For a big glass like this, I wish it just had a little bit larger opening. This is small for me, especially for you're advertising a panoramic roof. And then press it, you can do the tilt function. Then of course you have your sunshade. Then by closing the roof, it closes the shade the rest of the way. Coming across here. Here's one feature I want to show off is the Parking Assistance Pro package. And what that one means, this car can parallel or perpendicularly park itself. So we're going to drive down, we're going to look for a parking space. Looks like there's 2 parking spaces up here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to press this parking button up here. It'll bring up the cameras. And at the point, the car will look for a space. And it will determine, based on the size, if it can fit in the space. All right, so look for a parking space. It's going to chime. There we go. Select symbol for a space for park. I want parallel parking. Okay. Take hands or release brake. So I'm release the brake right now. I'm not touching anything. Gas or brake is handling the whole thing for me. Ooh. Oh, it's cutting it close. It's cutting it. Ooh, man. Makes me nervous. Okay. It's going to shift forward, creep forward. Oh boy, that thing gets close. It gets close. And then it parks itself. Nope, it's creeping forward. Parked. Completely secured. All right. Now to exit a space. press select arrow to leave parking space. So I'm select the arrow, hands off, release brake. It's going to position me. It won't pull out in traffic, but it will position me to leave the space. All right, now I can pull out traffic. It's saying I'm clear enough to where I should be able to make it, and I do. Okay. You got your backup assistant. So backup assistant, let me come over here. I'll show you what that does. So what I did was I just drove over here. Backup assistant is going to follow my exact path that I just did in reverse. So back up, it's going to do the exact same path that I just drove into. The camera is pretty good. It's high quality. You have your augmented reality. I'll show you what it looks like as I pull into the house. So as I pull up here, I'm gonna pull up close to the wall, and I'm gonna show you how it moves the camera around to kind of show you your angle. So I'm gonna hit close to this wall here. So it tells me I'm getting close. The camera activates automatically on its own. Pull close to the wall. It shows me it. Might tell me I'm too close. So back up. Okay, look at this beast right here. This is the B58. 382 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque. Now this torque can be reached at 1800 RPM, so you're going to feel this power right away. It's all coming through an 8-speed automatic transmission, and they say the 0-60 is 4.1. And the fuel mileage is going to be 21 city, 26 highway, and that's on 91 octane as recommended fuel. You can run a minimum of 89 octane, but I think if you can, just go ahead and put the 91 or 93 octane in there. Let's try the adaptive cruise control and see how that functions. So let's go up here and set mode. Press button for activation. Okay, distance control. It's showing me and seeing the car in front of me. Cutting here. It's very this gauge cluster, it changed. It's very Tesla-esque how it recognizes the truck and shows a truck here. Now I got assisted driving on, so it's going to now stay in. I think we maintain this lane. Yeah, so that was doing lane keep assist and centering. Center gauge cluster. Looks like it did an automatic lane change right there. That's pretty cool. But you can see how the car moves in front of me. You see I'm hooked on a truck right now. So, obviously, when you're below 40 miles an hour, you don't need to keep your hand on the wheel. It will do that for you. You have to go to Assistant Plus driving, and that option only comes when you're in stop and go traffic. Right now, I was having trouble reading the lines because it just changed lanes for me right there. But this is really not meant for city driving. I'm just using it for just demo purposes only. But when I'll show you a clip here where I was in stop and go traffic, and I was able to be hands-free completely. There's an eye tracker that reads that. Make sure that you don't look down. Yellow flashing because it wants to make sure I'm still here. There's torque on the wheel. When you're in hands-free driving, it is reading you completely. All right, well, here we are in the X3. I'm actually excited about this one because my wife's had this car since November, and she just doesn't drive very far, so the braking miles just wasn't accumulating as fast as what I thought it would be. Just give you an idea how long it took. I got the Tesla. I've already exceeded her mileage, and I just took delivery to Tesla about a month and a half ago. So anyway, I'm excited to do. I got a couple videos I'm filming here. I'm not sure how I'm gonna put this together, but one is I'm comparing the X5 versus the X3. And then another one I'm comparing just to finish the review of this vehicle here. So, give me my thoughts. Let's get out here in the open here. So my first impressions, especially driving the X5, and I know people are like, well, you probably haven't. So just for comparing the X5 40i and this one just feels a tad bit sportier. And like I said, I want to be able to try like a M Sport, but I don't think the M Sports do anything as far as, maybe they do suspension, but I want to feel M Sport versus this. But just this one, just the exhaust, it sounds throatier. It feels like it's like it wants to go. You can hear a little more induction noise coming in through, or artificial sound coming through the speakers. See, it picks up. Now if we go to Sport Plus, now this is the first time I really stepped on this thing. Yeah, the artificial sound in this makes this sound, and the way that the transmission pops off, it has a small, it's almost like it burbles a little bit. I don't know, I need to hear it from the outside. I'm gonna do some videos from the outside, but I wanna hear just how it sounds. I wanna hear the pop. I wanna see if it does a burble. So I know the previous generation did that, but I don't know if this generation does the same thing. I had this Prius try to slingshot me on the left. They knew my lane's running out, and I'm tipping in the throttle a little bit, and they just kept coming up. So I'm like, okay, I gotta step on it. So I'm gonna go some more roads. I'm gonna give you my impressions. Right now we're in Sport Plus, so right now we're in the most aggressive setting. Let's see how this does. Okay. Yeah. This one, I can tell you right now, it is more fun. It's more automatically just the sound. The sound right there just gives you that thrill, and the upshifts, the firm, the snappy upshifts. Not saying the 40i didn't do it, but this one just does a little bit better. If you're on the fence, you don't need the space, and you're deciding, man, if I should get the X5 or the X3, I think get the X3. X3 is where it's at. I like this. Let's see how the paddle shifters respond if I could put it in manual mode. Manual, how do I know? Okay, there we go, let's see. Yeah, paddle shifters definitely are responsive to get sportier drive. I'm gonna see how this does this turn. Nice throttle blips. Yep. All right. So how quiet is this? Can this be a comfortable, let's go to comfort mode. Let's see how just comfortable this X3 is. Let's listen. Nice. Let's get a listen to the horn. I always say BMWs always have good sounding horn. Yeah. Nice sound to it. I don't know if you can hear it in the video. All right. Okay. Let's take off from a stop here. I'm turning the AC off, all the way off. We're going to Sport Plus. Sport transmission. Here, I can hear that sounds from the outside. I'm gonna do a draggy, see what this thing can do. Yeah, I'm gonna do launch control. I'm not gonna do launch control now. Don't want to waste it. Don't want to wait, burn it up when I don't really need to do it. I'm not gonna really know anything. But I'm curious. Wow, that's the transmission doing this downshifting. This thing is, for being an M Performance or M Lite or a fake M, it's engaging. It's engaging. Like I just want to do this all day long. The B58. Now I see what the hype is. I've had an N54 on my previous 335i. I thought that was a great engine. I've driven some N55s, but the B58, I can see it's like you have a great engine. Let's say the N55 or N54 was, let's just call it an 8. It's an 8. This would be a 9. Great engine. That sound. Man, that's a nice sound. Yeah, we're gonna do some tests with this from the outside, and we'll obviously get some 0 to 60 shots. And as far as Eco Pro, let's go to Eco Pro mode. And what's nice about Eco Pro is right now my foot's off the accelerator and I'm just coasting 55 miles an hour, and the engine looks like it's in an off state or a ready state. Let me see what there is a thing in here I can see what it's doing. Car, vehicle status, no, that's not it. Driving information, energy flow. Let's see what it's doing. Yep, engine's off, coasting freely, batteries are fully charged. And I'm gonna make it to the stop sign. Touch the brake, so I'm gonna have to. Engine's off. Okay. Pretty cool how that. And see, this is what I'm talking about, the mod hybrid. You can't fool it. If I can stop. Yeah. There is no hesitation, there is no cranking. It's seamless. It's just like you have a Prius. It's a seamless on-off switch. The fact that it doesn't crank is nice. The fact that if you're in sport mode, it doesn't turn off. I can see where the fuel savings come in handy, and I can also see how it gives you that extra boost, because like any hybrid car, when you step on the gas, you're powered immediately from the battery, and this is what makes hybrids efficient. The battery gets the car moving. That's where the hardest part of getting a car wasting fuel is propelling it from a dead stop, getting that mass moving. And hybrids, if you've been in a Prius or any Toyota or Lexus hybrid, I'm sure Honda's work the same way, but when you step on the accelerator, it propels off battery power first. And I would say 5-10 miles an hour, the motor, the gasoline motor, switches on in conjunction with the battery. And the reason why that happens is because, like I said, batteries has the torque, it can propel it, and you don't need the engine. You can save the fuel because the worst part is getting it moving. And once it's moving, the engine can now take over and then assist, and the two work together in conjunction. And that's what's happening in the sense of a mild hybrid. It's not a full hybrid. They cannot propel it fully up to like 20 miles an hour like a true hybrid can, but it can get it off the line just enough to help. And when you're decelerating, you're running on, it can actually turn the engine off, and it's designed to function that way. A regular start-stop system on a car cannot do that. It can't just turn off and on unless you're at a dead stop. And additional start-stop is just like me having my key ignition, turning the car off and waiting, and then cranking it back up when I'm ready to go. That's what a start-stop system does. A mod hybrid is just designed to off and on. And there's instances where my wife pulls into the garage and I don't hear the car pull in the garage. It pulls in it silently because it's already switched the motor off. So right now the motor's off. And we're just decelerating. It says charging the battery. Step on the brakes. The energy you use when you're accelerating and charging the battery it goes right to the battery pack. It's obviously a small battery pack, so it doesn't take very long to charge up. But right away I can feel the difference. This thing is smooth and quiet. The transmission is soft, seamless shifts. So when you need this to be a luxury car, when you got your family in with you, you can tone this down quite a bit. I don't hear any sounds. I don't hear any noises coming through the cabin. The ride quality, it is a little bit choppier than the X5, but I can't say that's an apples to apples comparison, because the X5 had different tires. It wasn't on an M Sport tire. This is on a 21-inch wheel. So while I just feel like either the wheelbase is shorter, but it does feel like I'm moving around a little bit more in the bumps, but is nothing like my X5M. So right now my status is showing me the power is being driven by the engine, maintaining good speed. And like I said, I'll show you when that car pulled up next to me, advanced warning from the blind spot. It gives you way before the car gets up there, and you can configure that in the settings. But I like the fact that you get an advanced warning, which means is some blind spot systems wait until a car actually enters your blind spot and warns you. But BMW, I've seen that with BMW, Audi, some Kias, and I think other manufacturers starting to adjust their blind spot systems. But what it can do is it can read and track. So if someone's flying up on you and there's a big speed differential where you could change lanes and potentially block and cause an accident, that's where that advanced warning, so it light would eliminate, even though they haven't reached your blind spot yet, but it's letting you know that won't be probably a safe lane change. We're gonna pull here to the Shell station because BMW does recommend Shell, and there's not many Shell stations in this area, so I have to drive a little bit further away and pass a few stations in order to get there. Brake hold is on. My foot is not on the brake. The car is holding the brake for automatically. Brake lights are on. All I do is touch the accelerator. Brakes release. Brake lights go off. It is a nice system. What I like about this one compared to the other BMWs that I've driven, at least is that this stays on. So this stays on even if I turn the car off. It remembers your last setting. On my X5, and I think some of the F chassis cars, you have to go back into, I say F chassis, there's some other F chassis that have the newer stuff, but some of like the other cars, you might have to hit the button each time you go into the car, which I never really do that much because but it's nice when the system stays on. I don't have to touch the brake. Right now we're in park right now, but if I was in drive, it'd be the same thing. The car is idling on its, I should say it's hybrid power, but with that too, you get a little bit more, like now, I say if I go to drive, the engine popped on, you didn't hear it crank. Another cool feature is the ambient lighting. If you open your door while you're stopped, the ambient lighting pulses red to warn traffic that there's a door open. So it's a really cool trick. Okay. All right. So another cool feature is the digital key. Digital key means you don't have to carry any car keys with you. Your phone is your car key. So it's sort of like what Tesla's been doing. So all you need to do is enable it in the car. The car uses Bluetooth, so I'm with my phone up against the door handle. The car locks. Once I get into it, I can place it on the designated area where the wireless charger is. The car will then start. To lock the car, put my phone back in again. The car locks. All right. Also, it'd be the same for my watch. So say if I don't have my phone with me or if I want to take my pocket, put my watch up against the door. And you can see there it has a BMW digital key, unlocks itself, and I can pretty much lock it back. So helpful, especially if you want to leave your key somewhere, if you are active and you want to run for a day and you come back, you just can use your watch, get back to the car. All right, you see here, I put it park. Once you go to park, it gives you a graph to tell you exactly how far, if you open your door as wide as you can. So you'll know if you're gonna hit this car next to you if you extend your door at the widest point. So this person in the rear may hit the gas pump if they open their door as wide as they can. And you see here, you see the proximity to that. Most likely that's going to be true. So you have that. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. There'll be more X3 videos to come. Thanks for watching.